All right, so we're gonna get started here in just a minute. I just wanted to show you, I rearranged the homepage a little. I think we talked about that last class, but I moved I made a resource tab. And I know they had some stuff further down, but some of the things that folks mentioned, I went and found online after class. So this is the TCC math resource page. And if we just, you can schedule, I guess, your tutoring here. If y'all already know this, I apologize. I think some people didn't. I wasn't quite aware of all this. So you can schedule it, I guess, maybe. It looks like it's maybe for in-person because I clicked on it this morning and they said they weren't there. But if you go down to stats, we're 2023. And there's a lot of things here. I've pulled the things that we need for right now out and put them in. And as the course goes on, I'll pull more of that forward for you. But if you want to see, or if you're ever looking for something, it's here. And there's some videos as well. So when you all mentioned, I think Emma, you told me about the spring video, I found it here. And so I went ahead and just made it easier for y'all to find it all in one spot. So, and I added the one that you sent me as well. So there's the handouts, and I'll go over those in a second, but the videos, the ones that Professor Kennard had made with stat videos are here. The 2021 test review from spring is here. And then the one that they did the other day is here. When I get done today, I'm going to add our link underneath it. Okay. So that way everything's right there, easy to find. The other thing, I'm going to refer to some of these throughout our session today. There are formula sheets. And y'all said you can, you don't have to write things down, right? It said you can print them out. Just make sure it's on the computer. So if you want to print these out, it'll help because like so the symbology, the definitions, these things will help as we go along. So it's got some explanation, sample standard deviation, population standard deviation. And especially later on when we get to some of these formulas and the confidence intervals and different things. But they also have the calculator instructions on here. So if you want to print this out, or if you go to the lab, they said they have copies of all this in person is what Tony had told us in class. And then there's just a separate one for the calculator shortcuts and formulas. And I'm going to be using that because I think it'll help us as we move through, just like to remember how to do these things. Okay. So that way, and as we go throughout the course, we'll keep building on it. This has a nice little formula sheet on here as well. And going back, one more. We have mean, median, mode, and mid-range. It has some good stuff about skewed, because I'm going to be really honest with you. I always in my brain do this backwards. I shouldn't, but I do. So it talks about skewed to the right, skewed to the left. And so it has a good little picture of it to help you, and just like normal symmetric and kind of how those things relate. So I think that's really helpful as well. And it's just got some basic thing with frequency tables. And last, again, there's just a general overall tips. So if you haven't used the 83, 84 calculator before, this is more for like college algebra, looking at the min or max of a function. But it's got like reducing your fraction. That's a really useful one if you need to. Maybe if you can do how to pull things forward, just some basic things. We will be doing factorials. We will be doing combinations and permutations when we get to probability. So some of this will come in handy when we move forward, okay? So I just thought it might be helpful. So I just linked that. And as we go and start doing new things, I'll try and add the ones I think we need as we need them.